Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday with your friends and your family. As promised in our last video, I'm here to talk about money. Everybody wants to know, what does it cost to travel in a van? So we completed our 32-day round trip drive from St. Petersburg, Florida to Maine and back. And like I said, it was a 32-day trip. We used Road Trippers, and it estimated it to be 4,972 miles, and it would cost $1,530 for the gas. We average about 15 miles to the gallon, and that's been pretty consistent from what we've seen since we've owned the van. And we feel like that's pretty good because the van is built out and it's very heavy. So this is a very direct route. We actually went a lot more of the back roads, and I had the number, but I've lost it. I think we went probably closer to 6,000 miles on this trip. But what I did is take a notebook, and every day I wrote down cash or credit charges that we made so that I could come back and put everything into a nice spreadsheet. All right, so let's talk about this. I am using an Apple computer now, and I'm still learning how to use numbers because I like Excel better, but that's what I'm used to. So what I did is every day I wrote down in the notebook what we used, and when I got back I created this Excel spreadsheet. So here you can see every day what we've spent. There's a daily total. What I ended up doing was creating a category column and then putting in here what the category was on each item so that I can sort through and see how much money we spent by category. So let me first, let's see, bear with me for a minute. I'm still trying to learn how to use this. All right, so here we go. So for gas, this is the gas that we spent. Our gas totaled $1,864.68. You can see here there are a couple of times we had to buy DEF. One time at Buc-ee's, one time at Walmart. I do have a little bit of water in this number, but it's not going to throw me off by too much. Buc-ee's DEF was $8.50, significantly cheaper than buying the DEF at Walmart. So if you can, I would say at a gas station for sure. The next thing I would say is that we also did buy some oil. I don't see it in here, so maybe I have that under the purchases category, but we did have to put oil in the van during the trip. For food, Chuck and I love to eat, and we love to try different breweries and restaurants. So we consider eating out and drinking out at these breweries part of our entertainment. It's part of vacation. So we do go overboard with that. On the 32-day trip, we spent $2,037.21 on food and drinks. Lodging. On lodging, we stayed at 2 different campgrounds on the 32 days trip. We did stay a few nights with friends and family. Other than that, we did Boondockers Welcome and Harvest Hosts. If we went to a Harvest Host, we spent money there. I did not include that in with lodging because for us, that's part of the experience and eating out that we like to do. So for lodging, we spent, $109.66. So not very much at all. I will say that we did not really like campgrounds. So the Seawall campground, we did not plug in there because they did not have plug-ins, but we were there for 2 nights. The electric charge is at a Boondockers Welcome. We did plug in that one night there for $5, and then we plugged in at Fort Clinch, which is the second night of our trip that we were gone because they had been working on the van all day, and we really needed to charge the batteries back up. So the only other time we plugged in, so that's two of the 3 times we plugged in, was when we were at my parents' house and we were sitting in the driveway for probably 4 days. We did plug in. Now we have an alternator that charges our batteries when we move, so we think it worked out awesome that in 32 days we only had to plug in 3 times, and we probably could have gotten away with not plugging in at the Boondockers Welcome, but we kind of just wanted to top things off because it had been a while since we plugged in. Tourism. I consider tourism to be things that we do along our trip. So that would include parking, that we have to pay parking fees in order to go see something. So this is the admission to different activities, kayaking, different things that we did on our journey. This totaled $428.80, but it does not include the America the Beautiful Pass, which is something that we used at a number of the parks that we went to. That is $80 or $85 a year by the time I think you pay shipping. And that is something that we use on multiple trips, so I didn't feel it was fair to add that in to the cost of this trip. Purchases. We make a lot of different purchases. That is really dependent upon each person. So our purchases included like t-shirts, I think getting nail clippers that we didn't have in the van, buying liquor to go, hot sauce to go, all kinds of different things that we bought that we brought back with us. I think I may have some photos, so I'll throw some of those in of our things that we bought. It was a lot of stuff, and I think that varies by the person. That was $723.36. So I will subtract that out later from this number, because I don't feel that it's fair to consider that in the cost, because every person's going to spend their purchases differently. Let's see. Then we've got laundry. Our laundry was $31. We did laundry twice on the trip. We actually did do laundry one more time at my mom's house just to do a few things that we needed to get us through a couple of days, but we probably could have gotten away with just doing laundry twice. If we'd known we weren't going to my parents' house, we probably would have just spent more the second time that we did laundry. And then here we have all of our totals. As you can see, the total trip was $5,203.71. But if I take out our purchases and our drinks to go, because that varies by person, then that would leave me with $4,471.35 for 32 days. That gives us an average of $140 per day in the van. So what I would say is that we did this in the car. It was a little more than 30 days, so it was a little bit longer than this trip, which was 32 days. I think it was closer to like 38 days, something like that. So, but in a car, and we had our dog with us, traveling cross country every day, staying at a different hotel, eating out multiple times a day, and then seeing things along the way. We spent twice as much money on that trip as we did. In fact, our average hotel room with the pet fees was $110 a night. So overall, we felt like the van is a really great way to travel. We're really happy that we bought it. We're sad that our dog passed away before he was able to travel in the van, because this big Route 66 road trip was one of the big reasons why we pushed to get the van and build it out. But we love the van, and I think it's working out great for us, and we're excited to head out on our next adventure.